Okay, drawing 7, the eccentric truncated square 2 round. Pretty similar to the last one that we've done, except for the top is obviously truncated here. So would it be easier to draw it like this, or would it actually be easier to draw it like that? Yeah, that's a question to be had as well. Another thing too is, even with this on the top here, the round would actually be coming down this way. But what happens if we wanted the round to come down this way, but we still wanted it cut like that? Then essentially what we'd have to do is draw across here and put the circle up here and come down. Then it would be round at the top. So something to think about there, how this is sloped. I think in the design to fab, I think they call it sloped and mitered. So there's a difference kind of between the two, the way the round enters into the round part. So whether it enters in this way or this way. So this one's entering in this way, and that's how it's going to be done. So we need to do a half view here, because we're just doing a half pattern there. So just a half of the top view. And we got to do the whole thing here because it is off center, so 65 and 55. Let's go ahead and check what has already been done here. So for the baseline here, we're just going to come up 10, because we're going to keep it down, and 10 millimeters over here for the corner. So pretty tight over, pretty tight down as well. We are going to have to create a true length diagram here. So this one here, I've just come over 100 from the corner, just for vertical, and we'll bring these over after. And we're going to do a pattern over here. So this pattern here, I just came off the bottom of the top view here and just extended that over. So I just went 10 millimeters above the half round here. So we got enough room, lots of room here, not too bad. This one here, I came over 120, so 120 to 130 would be kind of center-ish over here. What we'll do is, this is the short side, 55 will be on this side, 65 will be over here, so it'll be a little longer on this side over here. Okay, so we need to create this shape up top so we can create this true length diagram. Okay, so the pipe is round this way. So the 25 mil here, divide that up. This is the 25 mil this way, divide this one up as well. So let's bring all these element lines across, and let's bring these element lines down and then up. Okay, and then that's what you'll be looking at from the top. Okay, so this is at 30, and you were 95 from the bottom to the center. So use your 30-60. Use the 60 side. And draw down to the baseline. So since this was drawn at 30 and this is at 30, that will intersect right there on the top of the circle. All these come down. Again, it's just how this thing is entering into the round. Okay, very good. Okay, let's bring these up. And let's just bring them all the way up to the center line here. And we'll number these after. This thing's not overly complicated. Now that we've done a few of these, you're probably starting to see the gist of it for the triangulation part. No, it's just a little bit off on that one. And then you can really just start to play with all the different shapes. Basically, where does everything come from? Where does it intersect? Okay, so that's all those ones coming up, because that's how wide that would be if you were looking from the top. And then let's just go ahead and bring these over. So I'm going to start with this one here. we go here. It's going to be easy to number these. Okay, so for this one here is the outside, so it's going to be here. And let's just do this old thing. It's pretty easy just to come down one, over one, and then you'll be... Oh, I was going to say, did I miss one? I just want to see here. Something was missing. Ah, I am missing one. Look at that. Yeah, ready? Too busy talking. But we caught it. Pretty straightforward there, because I know it didn't end up on center. Way there. Okay, so we're going to come down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, and then look at that. So center, center, you're on the outside. Come over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1. Simple as that, right? And we're going to number these. We'll just number them from left to right. So we'll call this one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, I don't get all tangled up on all this numbering and stuff. Now you can see these numbers come down here. Now you can see these numbers come over. So 3 and 5, this would be 3 and 5, 2 and 6, and 1 and 7. Easiest way to do this is build yourself something round. You can flip it this way, flip it that way. You can turn it, flip it. You know, if you're really concerned about that numbering, that's the easiest way to go ahead and do that. We don't need to number this, and we don't really need to number this, but actually I'm going to number this because I'm going to bring these over. There's no sense me looking up. Okay, so we need to number around the outside. We're going to call this A, B, C, D, and E. Okay. This is a true length here, so E to 7. 7, E would actually be down here. D and E, I guess. Or, well, we'll call that E because it's over here. And A. We're not going to call this D because D would be traveling in that way. So E to 7, 1 to A here are actually a true length there. The only one we don't have is the C4. So we're going to have to go ahead and do that. So let's put all the B's over here. We're not going to need B4 or D4 because this is 90 degrees. Okay, if that was sloping and this was sloping, then we would not be able to use a C4, be able to use it for a double check, but we would need the D4, B4 to be able to get that, like the last one. So we don't have to worry about that. So let's get B1, 2, 3 and put them over here. Okay. So B1. And I think these are going to get a little close. Mark this one down below. B1. One shorter. That one's B2. Kind of hard for me to number those any bigger down below there. So hopefully you got a big screen that you're looking at. B3. Yeah, I'll mark the top of this one. This will be B3 here. Okay, so we can see that. And let's put the C4 on this side as well. Okay, C4. There we go. And we have to do everything with D as well. So we'll just kind of keep working around here. So let's do D5. Okay, we'll do D6. Yeah, where would we find a shape like this, eh? Square going into something like that. It's mitered. Pipe coming out. That was D6. Lots of different shapes out there. E7. Try to make everything on center and flat when we can, but there's not always that option. Okay, so let's go ahead and measure over. So this will be C, and this was the 65, so we're going to go 65 here. And it was 55, so the 120. So this will be D, this will be B, C4. Okay, so this is where we're going to need this. Okay, we're going to have to bring these over. We're not going to have a common height here, so we have multiple heights. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring these over. So 7 all the way over. 6 all the way over. And 5. That's that 5 I had coming up was just a half a mil off there. That's okay for this one for what we're doing. If I was doing this one for marks or building something, then I would definitely adjust. But this is just a how-to example here, connecting the dots. Okay, here we go. Now you can number these if you like, doesn't really matter. Sometimes it's nice to have a little extra labeling and you don't need to look over there, right? Or count. Okay, C4. So we got to go to 4, right? Because that's where it comes from. So C4 to 4. Sounds like Battleship, that game. C4. Use my battleship. Okay, so coming off the top here, I have a little bit of math to do. So that was 25, 50. We've done this before. 50 times pi. Do I have this one memorized? Divided by 12. 13. That's pretty close. 13.08. So I don't think we're going to get any more accurate than that. Use your dividers. We need to go 13. So let's make sure you're accurate there. Take your time on this one. Sharpen up the end of your divider if you have to. There we go. And I'll just leave that one. Big arc there. Big arc there. Okay, so now we're going up to, because we're heading this way, B3. So let's go ahead and do B3. Grab B3. B3 to the top. Believe it or not, I drew all this on AutoCAD as well. Just to get patterns and double check, and sometimes we used to how-to in the classroom through the AutoCAD. D5. So coming off of 5, down to D. That one's really starting to go down, isn't it? 5. So now we know it's heading down. Well, we should have known that over here because it's heading down. Let's go ahead. There are 13 mils here. That one will be heading up, and 5 will be heading down. It'll probably go back up here eventually. There you go. So now we're going up to 2, so B2. And if yours are just slightly off from these ones, then that's pretty close for what we're doing, but you want to be as accurately as you can, keep everything sharp. This is a measuring exercise as well. You know, how well do you measure? And layout, you know, you're using your center lines. So D6 here on this one. Your center lines and object lines. So unless you're working in a plate shop, doing lots of plate stuff, you'll be doing lots of this. But if you're working in a structural shop, I won't be doing much of this. Whoop. Look at that. I got carried away there. A little rip in my page. And I'm pretty far away from my paper here. So B1. A little bit hard to see over top of this camera. B1 there. There we go. And then we're D7. Making our way through the gauntlet of numbers here. D7. And here we go. And 1. Alright. Now let's go ahead and B to A. Not wasting any time here. Right to it. These don't take long. You know, you can do one of these in 45 minutes. You know, they don't take long. And then A1 here. So that's over here, right? So we're going to do the A1 here. And then we got to come from the 1. We're going to come down. Find A here. And 7 down, so 7 down to E. We used to have big rolls of paper in the shop we'd work on. The backside of calendars, old calendars or something like that. So layout on those, any paper we can find. Cardboard. E. Okay, let's connect the dots. Oh, these are square, don't we? Did it turn out square? Here's the magic moment right here. Did we do it right? Yay, we win. I like it when that happens. Take it when you can get it. B to A up to 1. Hey, we're doing pretty good. And again, that's all comes down. Oh, it's a little bit off here. Fix this up. That's better. And sometimes you look out across the top here, but again, you need to take your ruler and you need to measure along that curve just to get that stretch out. So using your mean diameter, and we're going to use the flat side. You can't double check this with the radial line. Those days are over. It's great when they're on center because you can, but this would be fun to bend up. I built one of these for some heavy-duty ventilation in a ship once, believe it or not. Going from square to round, all very heavy-duty. So I've done this before. Offsets. We're going to connect the dots here all the way down. Yeah, you would have thought it was a sheet metal thing, but I think it was out of 1/8 material. A little heavier. And all the way down. There's the last one here. Then we'll go through the sheet, mark this up. I'll show you some design to fab stuff again here too. Okay. So again, you're just going to be using this sheet here, identify everything. Okay, let's go ahead, put your name on there. And we'll double check it with the template after. Put today's date on there when you got this done. And I think this was, we'll just short form the name of this one. Eccentric, Truncated, Square to Round. Yeah, we're getting into drawing 7. We've done a few of these now. Starting to get the gist of it. Bend lines. Now, do we bend this up or do we bend this down? Well, you're going to have one of each, aren't you? This again will be 15, 30, 30. Obviously, this will change when the amount of bend lines change. Again, just taking that 360 degrees and divide it by however many spaces. I think we had a formula for that on the sheet. So we got one up and one down. I guess how that one is. One up plus one down. Okay, something like that. What else we got here? We're going to shear these. I'm going to shear those. Shear this, shear this. Actually, we probably should put those tabs on again. It's one of those things you forget, and then it's a bit of a disaster. I'll put a tab on here. I guess this will turn into a burn line now. There we go. So I'll have to turn into a burn line. Let's burn it. Let's get that center line on there. That's looking pretty good. Let's have a look at the template. Well, that one came off the design to fab. A little chunky here, because that's the way it is. You got to divide this into more to get that smoothened out, but it actually just connects on a straight line here. So just some more readouts here, the PDF of these two. It's nice, it gives you the blank size so you know how much material you need. That's a huge bonus. And then it's got all your X, Y's and everything triangulated from there. So that's kind of neat. Besides that, I drew this in AutoCAD as well, so I got the pattern for that. Okay, that's drawing 7. Alright, good luck.